Welcome back to the channel. Contradictions everywhere. Even the biggest of the biggest in the construction industry are giving guaranteed pricing for the buyers. I mean, what is going on? Aren't we kind of exiting the recession and the depression and we are heading into a better and more prosperous time? I don't think so. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to get into the whole Mattamy Homes and I believe it's not only Mattamy Homes, they're just trying to guarantee pricing for their buyers. We'll get into some details. We'll talk about what is going on in the market because that is more important than the actual initiative, right? Because people are losing confidence. And when people start losing confidence in any transaction, I mean, things get tipsy, right? Trust is gone. People start to predict. There's no FOMO, fear of missing out. People are starting to calculate what will happen with my investment. So therefore, Mattamy came up with this fantastic idea, trying to guarantee the price. But what actually happens? And another point that I would like to get into is that we all know that developers and the builders, they have to hit a certain criteria in order for the bank to release funds, money. Some 70% sold, some 80%, depending on the actual agreement back behind the curtain with the bank. But this is just something that the bank wants in order to release the money and the project to continue. And we all know that in the past, there's hundreds of projects that stalled. And even at that time, for some reason, people believed that it's only a glimpse or a blip in the market and the market will bounce back very quickly. But let's get into the whole story. So what actually happened? Mattamy Homes offering price protection program. If price drops before closing, buyer refunded the difference. Applies to condos plus low rise, Ontario province and Alberta. GTA locations: Brampton, Mississauga, Oakville, Markham, and High Park. So temporary program until March 8th, which I'm a little bit not like, is this some kind of marketing? Obviously, it's a marketing campaign, but why limit? I mean, like they have this program till March 8th, and I'm very curious to know if anyone out there knows a little bit more. Did they sell more product because of this program that Mattamy is offering and whatnot? So curious to know, so please comment below. So how does it work? Refund calculated 30 days before closing compared to base model price only, does not include lot premiums, upgrades, market-wide price decline, must be identical model in same community phase, right? So Mattamy offers only on their product, which means they're selling their product, which brings me to that number one point. What is the actual reason, right? Like, do they need to sell the inventory and then they'll figure it out? I'm sure they will not touch the pricing, but they're playing within their own field, right? Like, and they're even saying it must be an identical model and it must be in the same community phase with Mattamy. So it's not affected with the entire other pricing and communities and the actual market, right? So then they say they will do this. Mattamy says, gives buyers confidence, helps end user enter uncertain market. Focus is on homeowners, not investors. Market fluctuations don't matter long term. So the message finally is home ownership, not speculation, right? So in a nutshell, it might make sense. But like at the end of the day, I don't know if this really guarantees the entire protection for a long period of time. I think the protection is for a short period of time, and I'm sure the Mattamy will award it. However, I don't know if it will impact any way or anyhow in the long run. So what the market data says, Ontario saw record low new home sales last year. Take a note, lowest in 45 years, ladies and gentlemen. Pre-construction market describes as dead on arrival. Horrible, but it is true. Condo inventory glut in GTA. CMHC expects construction to decline in the next 2 years. Jobs at risk in construction sector. So the demand is extremely weak. I posted this portion of statement like probably 2 years ago, because I could somehow smell that it will get to this where we are actually today, and we're in a gutter, we are in mud up to here. It is hard to get out of it. And if you're dreaming somehow that it will turn, it will shift suddenly, that the spring market will hit, that the boom in June will hit of 2026, it will not happen, because it takes much more than just one piece of the puzzle in order to see the entire image. So while you're at it, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's move on. What critics say. So calls it more marketing than protection. Protection only applies if identical model drops. Developer controls pricing, buyer not protected from other market declines. So the key point in this, if the entire neighborhood drops 100K, you may not be covered. This is exactly what I have mentioned in the beginning. So Mattamy controls their own product and controls obviously the models and the product and the community within the community. So you're not protected outside. So once you receive those keys and once you're firm with the deal, you might end up with the same issue if the market actually declined by 5%, 3%, 12%, 100K, whatever the number is. So it's a great marketing campaign, but just read the fine print. So the deeper meaning, as this camera is on, when was the last time the developer felt that need to guarantee prices? So the camera is on. So when was the last time? I want you to answer the question. If you can comment on this question would be great. But I believe, from what I understanding, I spoke to folks that went through the 90s. Back in the day, they said, look, it feels the same today. It feels the same. It like exactly the same. The prices went ludicrous, and then all of a sudden, developers started giving these initiatives. They were like literally gifting these homes back in the day because they could not carry and all of that stuff. So the same circus is happening as we speak. It's just different time and date, but the situation is the same. So the signal: buyer hesitation, confidence collapsing, pre-construction distrust, financial risk, inventory pressure. So the bigger context of all of this is buy at today's price, close in 3 to 4 years, automatic appreciation, easy assignment flip, right? So now this obviously is not the case. It used to be, and people would probably abuse and use this particular, I would say, era or time just to accumulate. And I spoke about this in many of my videos, right? And I asked people, I asked them directly in the peak. I said, like, why are you collecting? You're hurting, like, you know, like the hoarders, like those people that have all kinds of junk in their bedrooms and in the house and yards and front porches or whatever, right? And you know, they said, like, it's the last chance. Back in the day, I asked them, it's the last chance, you know, for me to acquire something. You see where this is going and all of that stuff. I said, okay, so let's get as much as we can. Money is cheap and all of that stuff. Everybody knows that story. However, I asked them a question. I'm like, what about the next generation? What about the kids that are starting up and all of that stuff? Like, just curious to know. I mean, if you want to answer, do it, right? And they said like, well, it is very simple. All these kids, they can rent from me. I don't care. I'm getting in right now. I'm getting as much as I can. So the whole point of the story, there was no mercy, no mercy for the next generation. Everybody was acquiring as much as they could and nobody cared, right? So everybody wanted to be that entrepreneur. So how that will end up, we all know now that tide has shifted and many people are already underwater. Many people are holding on to a straw, and many people will fail or continue to fail as we go on. So depending where you are at in your personal situation. So now the situation assignment is actually failing. Nobody's touching those unless you are willing to lose a lot of money below price, and people have to do that. They have to come with these terms. If you want to get rid of a burden, you have to literally give it away for free almost. Appraisals below purchase price, investors walking away, developers offering initiatives. So psychology has definitely shifted. So the end user versus the investor narrative. Developers say end users shouldn't care about short-term market. I mean, I keep hearing this and I keep hearing this and I don't get it. Like, I don't get what I'm hearing because they keep saying, oh, don't worry about it. If you're going to live there for a long time, then nobody cares. Like, why should you care? Like, well, hold on a second. Like, I don't want to overpay. Like, that's basically the bottom line. Like, I don't want to be the sheep and I don't want to overpay. Whether it's an end user, short user, flipper, doesn't matter, right? Like, so everyone should look at the entire sum and the situation, right? So I don't know how they squeeze this part for the end users. You shouldn't care as long as you're there. Don't get it. So what is this really happening, right? Like, I mean, with Mattamy, so it's not price protection, it's confidence protection. So I want to leave the video with this, and this is exactly what I mean by this. I don't think you'll be protected with price. It's just the confidence in the meantime to get you through the door, to kind of ease you on the actual purchase. But what will happen down the road, only God knows. Well, anyways, this is only my prediction. This is only what I believe. You do whatever you want, and please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.